Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. So what we're going to do is break this down because there have been changes, there have been buffs, there's lots of stuff going on, we've played more games. It is very apparent now who are the strongest heroes in the beta so far. Now, things will probably change. That is the disclaimer at the top of this video. Things will probably change. This is the beta, however you want to pronounce it. It's up to you. It's all fine. I generally go between the two. But yeah, let's get stuck into this. So I think we're just going to start with the best hero in the game. It's Soldier. Soldier is absolutely incredible. Now, the reason why Soldier is so powerful is he has high damage output. He has self-healing. He has speed. He also gets speed from the roll passive. He's great at flanking. There's hardly anything that can punish him on the enemy team. If they've got a diva and the diva's going to attack visor you to, well, defense matrix attack visor, yeah, she can, but she's probably not going to be able to because the maps are so large. She's going to be off doing something else. Even if you're playing on the old Overwatch maps, it's still easy to get attack visor and get a ton of value because you just need to play around one barrier or play around a diva's defense matrix. And if you don't see any of them, you can pop attack visor and get incredible value. In fact, one thing for Soldier is just use attack visor to get a solo kill. It's worth it because then it becomes 4v5 and you win. The hero's broken, but probably going to get changed. I hope he doesn't because I like Soldier, but he's very powerful right now, incredibly powerful. All right, let's move on. So I reckon we go to Sojourn next. Now, Sojourn, a playable tier. I'm going to put her in playable this time. Now, there is a good tip for Sojourn. If you change your primary and alternate fire, change them over. So put your primary fire on right click and put your alternate fire on left click. So you're actually more sort of, you're used to firing with left click rather than right click. So if you swap them over, it kind of makes sense. So you just keep spamming right click all the time for the charge up the railgun. Then you go for left click for the primary fire to try and get a kill. And actually does help accuracy quite a bit. Anyway, why is she in playable tier? Well, Sojourn is very hard to get value with. If you're absolutely cracked out of your mind and you never miss a shot and you're just going to hit railgun shot after railgun shot after railgun shot, you'll get tons of kills with Sojourn. But then there's another hero that you should probably just play anyway, and that's called Widowmaker. And I honestly think Widow is going to be very, very strong in this game. And I don't think people have really come to terms with how strong she can be. So, yeah, you could just play Widow or just play Soldier. Like, when you pop Sojourn's ultimate, you have to aim to get the kills. With Soldiers, you don't. So, even if you are the best Sojourn on the planet, you'd still be better playing Soldier. Okay, so it's sad that kind of like the face of Overwatch 2 has become not that great, but I don't know. She needs buffs, and I think Blizzard will buff her. I honestly do believe they'll do something to her. Okay, so Hanzo. I kind of want to say, I think Hanzo's playable as well. To be fair, Hanzo's got no changes. I mean, he's got a nice graphic effect on his arrows now when he fires them, but beyond that, the changes are basically non-existent for Hanzo. It's just fine, right? It's just fine. Like Hanzo, you know, you land the shots, you get rewards. Hanzo's always been like that. He's always going to play like that. There's kind of like little negatives towards Hanzo, whereas like if Zarya is your tank and you go for a grab dragon combo, you only really get that kind of once per round. If you're lucky, maybe twice. So it's not as effective as before. Looking for combos, but he's still Hanzo. Like, he can still kill you with a headshot from across the map, and you're like, oh great, I'm dead. As ever, if you play against Hanzos, just remember, don't keep peeking the obvious sort of lines of sight, because he will be spamming them, and he will get you, and you will die. So, yeah, Hanzo's like, whatever, he's playable. He's okay. I wouldn't be bothered if I had a Hanzo on my team. Junkrat. Junkrat. Oh, I'm going to D-rank Junkrat. I'm pretty sure I put him higher in my alpha tier list. Now, Junkrat can perform well, but I think when Junkrat is one of your DPS, because he lacks that ranged capability and he lacks flank capability, although you can totally play him as a flanker, and actually that can be quite effective. It's almost like he can get out-pressured by the other DPS. So the way Overwatch 2 seems to be working is the tanks just go in on each other. The two DPS fight each other and also try and kill the supports, and the supports try and keep everyone alive while not being killed by the enemy DPS. Junkrat is good at the sort of close-range brawling. Okay, you can get lucky bombs at long range, and nobody expects Junkrat just flanking. It's like, oh my god, what the hell? Junkrat's trap now works differently, so it doesn't trap you in it. It grabs you and slows you down and sort of like you can still move. So that actually is still okay. It does more damage as well now. So Junkrat, if you get caught in the trap, can spam damage into you still. But yeah, I just think other DPS are better. They just get more value than him. But he's fine. He's fine. He's a niche pick. If the enemy counter pick you and they go like double hit scan, probably, swap off the Junkrat maybe. Mei. Oh, God. I think Mei... you know what? I'm not sure about Mei. So Mei effectively does 100 DPS now with a right click, which is massive. So she's more she outputs more damage. Mei does. She doesn't have a freeze, but she does have a slow, and it applies instantly. You see, Mei is very I think Mei is playable, and I even think Mei might be. I think Mei's better than that. I think Mei might even be A tier. This is a bit of a hot take, but I think Mei is very strong because Mei counters the tanks in the way that she just slows them down. Now, it doesn't prevent them from moving, but she can slow them down. She can wall them off. Her right click is massive damage as well at range. So she's almost got that ranged option and that close range option. In a way, she's kind of like a mini tank, isn't she, Mei? And we've always said before, why the hell, Blizzard, haven't you reworked Mei into a tank? I don't know. I think Mei... Maybe I'm going to leave her there for now. I might be being a bit generous there, but I think Mei could be a bit of a sleeper in terms of her power level. Lucio is just S tier. we need to go no further than that. He's just absolutely incredible. High survivability, high mobility, great dual ability. He's just amazing. He's just amazing. He's literally the best support in the game, Lucio. If you've got a Lucio on your team, good stuff. And if you've got a Reddit Lucio, even better stuff. All right, then, cool. Mercy, Mercy's A tier. I really like Mercy in this game. And... What I don't like about the supports in Overwatch 2 is that they haven't really changed them. The DPS, the tanks, obviously, have had massive reworks. Support is just the same. It's like, okay, you've got your 15 health per second passive, but that's it. It's like, well, that's great. It's not really blowing my socks off. But Mercy is so mobile. And if you play Mercy correctly and you play her sort of with an overview of the battlefield, you can take in a lot of information. You can see where the enemy is. You can see where your team is. You can see who needs healing. You've got your Guardian Angel for mobility, for instantly moving around. She's really good. Really, really good. So I think she's A tier, to be honest. And damage boost is very strong as well, especially if you damage boost in Soldier. Soldier is just killing everybody. So, yeah, I mean, if I had Lucio and Mercy as my supports, I'm loving that. I think that's great. There are better support combos, though. We'll get onto them in a second. In fact, we'll get onto them right now because next up is Moira. But yeah, Mercy's fine. I think Mercy's fine. And also Rez. Rez has always been a powerful ability. And it's even more powerful because now it's 5v5. So less players on your team. Being able to bring one back is really good. Yeah, and actually also the point on Rez, rezzing your tank is way more effective now than it used to be because the tanks are so much more powerful. So you almost get like double the value back from rezzing a tank. It's so powerful. Anyway, Moira is absolutely S tier. Moira has Fade, so she can get away from any kind of trouble. And get this is the biggest crazy thing about Moira. Moira, when you hit the button to go into Fade, it starts the passive cooldown. So you're instantly taken out of combat when you Fade. When you come out of Fade, the passive kicks in and you start healing yourself. That's pretty good on a hero that can heal themselves as well through lifesteal and also just heal themselves with their healing orb. Yeah, this is mad. Her ultimate is fantastic as well because you can just take out DPS with it. She's really good. Moira is really good. Like, Moira and Lucio are fighting for the best supports at the moment, but I'd still probably give it to Lucio. Well, I don't know, actually. You could just give it to Moira. God knows. Me, personal preference, if I was playing the two heroes, it would be Moira because I'm not very good with Lucio. But I think if you've got a good Lucio, I don't know. I think that might be a bit more valuable maybe because he can almost act like a third DPS. He can go into the enemy's back line and start killing them. Whereas Moira doesn't really do that. She's just very good at dealing with enemy flankers and DPS attacking herself. She's very survivable. So I think if you've got an offensive Lucio, it's probably better than the Moira. But whatever. That's all we could debate that forever. Okay, Orisa. Holy Orisa. Oh my. Orisa is getting nerfed. I can guarantee you this hero is getting nerfed. It is basically, can I say the best tank? It probably is the best tank. And should I put it in S tier? I probably should. But I'm going to. This will get nerfed. Orisa has got answers for everything. Now, pro teams have not been rolling with Orisa, from what I understand. They may be now, I don't know. But from just us normal mere mortals playing the game, Orisa has got so many options to deal with so many things. And if she's properly supported, she's absolutely incredibly powerful. This at the top here, this is your team. so far. This is a very strong team. Like, this team is going to take some beating. Now, on certain maps, it might be more beneficial to have a barrier. Now, this is when we'll get onto Reinhardt in a bit, but Reinhardt can be quite strong. Like, you think King's Row final point. If you've got a Reinhardt on that point and the enemy team doesn't, that's actually really powerful because you can force your way through with the barrier. Now, the enemy might match up and we might see the meta going in a direction where we do start changing tanks based on whatever. But as a purely hot take from the beta, Orisa is really good. Orisa's got high damage output at close range. She has got, so under 10 meters, you do tons of damage with Orisa's primary fire. She's got the skill shot javelin, which you can throw across the map, which also interrupts, which is massively powerful against other tanks. And this is the point I've been trying to make with tanks in a ton of recent videos, is the tank meta is, can you outplay the other tank? And Orisa, I've got loads of options to outplay the other tank. I can stun them. I can use Fortify, so I'm immune to their stun effects. I can give myself health with Fortify as well. Fortify also cools down, reduces the cooldown build up on primary fire, so I can do more damage. My ultimate is actually really good. I can run in and pull people out of position and slap them really fast. I can pull them off the map. I can do all kinds of stuff. I can also use Spear Spin to delete projectiles, do damage to people, and move faster. The hero is cracked. It's absolutely cracked. It's a fantastic redesign, but it's probably a bit too good. Probably will get nerfed. Pharah. Okay, so I think... Can I say she's niche? I don't know about this, because Pharah... If Pharah has got a Mercy Pocket, she can be quite strong. What worries me about Pharah is Soldier being so dominant and Sojourn being the new hotness. And also Widow. But Widow's always worried us about Pharah. And Echo is a better Pharah. Okay, I'm just going to leave her as niche pick, just because I think Echo's better than Pharah at doing Pharah's job. And she's... Like, to be honest, she's so easily killed by what is essentially the meta DPS at the moment. It's going to be hard for her to get value. So, yeah, she's got to be a niche pick. Okay, Reaper. Now, Reaper... I think Reaper's playable. He's certainly not a niche pick because he's playable in a lot of comps, because you can use Reaper as the support for the tank. And what I mean by that is he can be like the frontline DPS support with the tank, so he's pumping damage in at close range, helping your tank win that tank battle. Or you can flank with him, which is incredibly powerful, because if you go off flanking, well, and the enemy don't deal with you, yeah, you catch a support 1v1 with Reaper, you got a lot of tools to deal with it. You know, you can Wraith form, you can do all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I think Reaper's definitely playable. I wouldn't be worrying if I had a Reaper on my team. I'd be like, hey, this is probably going to be okay. Unless the enemy team, you know... But then, yeah, I don't know. Like I was going to say, unless the enemy team are running double hit scan or something, or double sniper. I don't know, because Reaper could still get close to them and potentially deal with them. Yeah, I think it's playable. I think Reaper's okay. Now, again, I must say that on the beta, we're playing on a very restricted map pool, and we're playing a lot of the new maps, and the new maps do really favor flanking, so they might be amplifying some of these tier lists that you guys are seeing, in the sense that Reaper is very strong on maps where he can easily flank. On other maps, maybe older maps, he might not be that strong, so I don't know. But I think he's playable. This is the interesting one, right? Reinhardt. So I put him as dead, like absolutely unplayably garbage. He was just getting farmed like crazy in the alpha. But you know what? Things change. They really do change. And I think now, it's like a perception issue. And that's what's been going on with Overwatch recently, where in the past, I would just pick up Reinhardt and I'd play him all game. And that pretty much be it. There wouldn't really be a time where I'd swap, unless we were doing something, you know, where we needed a dive tank or whatever. But now, like I kind of alluded to before, King's Row final point, and I was playing Orisa. The enemy team have got Orisa. I played Reinhardt, and then suddenly it felt a lot more stable. Because I was stopping the damage coming through. My DPS would be able to damage their team at will. That's the Orisa's downfall. She doesn't protect the team. She literally is just a souped-up tank. A souped-up DPS, really. But Reinhardt does. And this is where it gets really complicated, because this is where you can be, well, actually, Reinhardt is strong in some scenarios, but using him as like a blanket pick all of the time, maybe not. And again, he just depends on Lucio. And Lucio is meta at the moment, so you do see Lucio quite a bit. So makes me even stronger. So yeah, playable. But he might even be A tier in certain comps. I think he is. I think he's A tier, you know, in certain comps. I don't know. Can I really say that? I think he might be playable. Okay, I'm going to say he's playable simply because it does depend on what the enemy team are doing, and you can't just go on playing Reinhardt, whereas you can just go on playing Orisa and then just deal with it, right? So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave him as playable. I was maybe getting a bit excited. Ashe, right? Ashe. Yeah, she's playable, but she's boring as hell because there's better heroes than her, and her kit's old. It's not been touched. She's just boring. That's Ashe. Hog. Hog is dead. Now, I may have said in the past that Hog A is decent, right? But there's a problem. There's a problem for Hog, and it's this four-legged monstrosity called Orisa. She is way better than Hog at the tank role. Hog is a flanking tank. When he's with his team, all he does is take damage. Now, of course, with the new passives for tanks, you get less ultimate charge through damaging them, and also the supports on their team get less ultimate charge through healing them. But, like, he doesn't really do anything. Again, he's a boring hero, really. He's just got hook, primary, secondary fire, take a breather, and his ultimate. He's shit. Blizzard, you need to do something with Hog. If Hog's on the enemy team, it's very easy to play around him. He's got one ability, and when he doesn't use, well, when you see his hooks on cooldown, you can just pressure him. So I think Hog is not great. I think Hog is actually the worst tank in the game by far, by absolutely far. Sigma. Ooh, you know what? I think Sigma's A tier. So actually, if you guys caught my stream with my awesome VTuber rig, and I'd watch out because that's coming back with enhancements. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so I played a ton of games with Sigma, and you could, like, so Sigma, you can fall back into the old playstyle of Sigma, which is pretty much like, you know, it is a brawly playstyle. You're deploying your barrier, you're making sure your barrier doesn't get destroyed, you're always spamming for damage, you know, you're sucking high incoming enemy damage, using it to block abilities, you're throwing your rock at people to interrupt them, your ultimate's really strong, because it's Overwatch 2, you're buffed, so everything feels better, so you do high damage, you've got high damage absorption, you're just great. Like, Sigma is a great hero, and I think you can run him in a lot of comps as well, and yeah, but I think he's A tier. I think Sigma's fine. This son of a bitch of a hero, oh my lord. We've got a history, haven't we, Sombra? I remember back in 2016 when I went to BlizzCon and I was doing the stream, the worldwide reveal of Sombra, and we were like, oh my god, she's invisible, it's mental. Anyway, that's a long time ago. A very long time ago. In the future now, she has become... You know what? I need another tier. I need a tier in between S and A tier. But you know what? I think Sombra... so if you had a team, theoretically, that was Doomfist, Sombra, Soldier, Moira, Lucio, that is a strong team, right? If the Sombra plays well, Sombra has always suffered from this. She needs to be very much in the back line, very much hacking the enemy supports, very much hacking the tanks to interrupt their abilities when she can. In fact, the interruption is maybe not the best part of her entire hack. The fact is, it gives her 40% extra damage on the target. So if she hacks a support, she can then just come out of invis and annihilate that support with massively ramped up damage on it. And of course, your team see that player, I think it's for 8 seconds through the wall after they've been hacked. The stun is kind of like minimal. It's like, oh, I've been stunned, and it's annoying. But yeah, and also she stays in invis when she does it, or rather she doesn't break invis. So when she goes for the hack, like she does become visible, but as soon as it finishes, she instantly goes back into invis. But yeah, I think she's A tier. I'm tempted. I can't. I don't think I can say she's S tier. I don't think I can say she's S tier. I think I'm going to stick with A tier. Symmetra, I don't really know what's going on with Symmetra. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say she's dead, but dead in the beta, sorry, because the maps don't really favor her at all. Push, she does not work on push because you're constantly fighting in different areas all over the map. She needs to be on control maps. She needs to be on defense, on, you know, hybrid or payload maps. I think if we had the full map roster in the game, I'd put her at niche pick, but because we don't, she's dead. Literally dead in the beta. Torb's playable, whatever. Torb's just Torb, he's playable. Say no more on Torb. He's got good tank busting capability, Torb has. His turret is good at pushing, maybe not pushing away flankers, but alerting you to the presence of flankers, which is really strong in the game right now. And it can also help a little bit with keeping your supports alive, but again, it depends where you put the turret. His ultimate's whatever, it's okay. Yeah, I think he's playable. I don't think he's a niche pick. I think he's I think he's playable because of his. Well, I think he's playable because he can actually. I think it's underrated the fact that his turret alerts people to what's going on. You know, like so when flankers are moving in behind, if the turret is in a position where it can attack them, that is critical information. Maybe we might see something developing where the Torb would be more communicative with his team and go like, "Oh God, somebody's behind you." I don't know, but I think Torb is playable. I don't think Torb necessarily gets countered. It's just that when you're playing Torb, you might be able to play other heroes. Like maybe Hanzo might be a little bit better in that scenario sometimes. You know, or Reaper. I don't know. Like you can swap and change, but I still think Torb's okay. This is an A tier DPS. This might even be getting up there to an S tier, but I think I'm going to leave it at A tier for the moment. So flank ability off the charts, self-sustain off the charts, mobility off the charts. Really, really good. But you have to select your targets. You can't sit there and just farm away at the back. Like Soldier can sit there in the fight, shooting away at everyone, getting tons of value. Tracer can't do that. She needs to get up close and personal. She needs to find opportunities to get into the back line. So she's more, there's more finesse required with her, I think, than some of the other DPS, but she's very strong, and I would say that she's definitely A tier. I think most of the... I think what lets her down is the ultimate. And I think when we get to Genji, and I'm going to put Genji in S tier, by the way, Genji is... His ultimate is incredible value because there's no stuns, which is something we've always got to be aware of now in Overwatch 2. Okay, so let's move on to Widow. I think Widow... You know what? I think Widow... oh, baby, Widow is S tier, but not yet. Like, she will be. I'm telling you guys, she will be in the future, but I think at the moment, she's A tier. She's better than Sojourn because she's got basically Sojourn's charged railgun all the time, which is really powerful, right? And Widow's always been powerful. But there's one less tank. This is massive for Widow because it means, well, if I know where the tank is, it's just free. I can kill there, just start shooting at the enemy team. Maybe I'll kill someone because the DPS or the support, almost all of them, are going to die instantly from a headshot that's fully charged. This is massive value. And the enemy team have to adapt. They go, oh my God, there's a Widow. They either play their own Widow into it that can counter it. They've either got a Sojourn that can, I don't know, maybe counter the Widow, or they've got a tank which is going to deal with the Widow. Apart from that, Widow is very hard to deal with, and she can do a ton, an absolute incredible amount of damage to a team because it is kind of free playing Widow at the moment. So I think she's A tier at the moment, but I definitely think in the future that is an S tier hero. I honestly believe that's an S tier hero. I think we could be going into a double sniper meta as well. Winston. So I said Winston was dead before, and I kind of want to take this back a bit. I kind of want to push. And I think I think he's playable. I think Winston is just playable. So there is a nice bit of tech with Winston you can do, where if you jump in, so like if you're going to land on a target, you charge up your alternate fire, you jump in. As you land on them, you obviously do the impact damage, you fire your alternate fire, and then you melee them. It's almost like double meleeing them. It's nice burst damage, and then, of course, you can go into primary fire, or if they try and run away, you zap them with secondary fire again. The only issue I've got with Winston is his secondary fire feels absolutely garbage as an ability to use. It doesn't feel great at all. His barrier does have more health than it used to, so it's got 800 health now. But I don't know, like Winston is, I think Ball is better than Winston, but I still think Ball is only kind of maybe playable. But I think Doomfist is way better than Winston. That's the problem. So I can't put Winston any higher than this. He's okay and he can work, but he's not. It's just boring. Like Blizzard need to rework these heroes that they haven't really touched, like or do something substantial with them because they just feel like old and like you kind of don't want to play them. Yeah. So Ball. You know, I'm going to put Ball in playable. I could put Ball in the tier below, to be honest, sometimes. But I think if I did that, it's not fair on Winston because Winston would need to be down there as well. So I think Ball is okay. Ball is obviously got high mobility. His ultimate's okay. He can single out enemy supports and kill them, which is really strong. Yeah, he's okay. Ball's playable. I don't really have too much to say on Ball, to be honest. We'll just go to Doomfist now because Doomfist is infinitely better than these two tanks. So Doomfist is the new best dive tank by far because his mobility is frigging crazy. It's off the charts, right? Ball has got high mobility, But I'm talking about mobility that's vertical, and Doomfist is on tap. It is mental. He is constantly moving in and out, slamming, disrupting the enemy. He's impossible to kill because if he's using his block correctly, he's power blocking. And you know what? When you power block to 100, it instantly resets the fist. And I don't think people know this. I didn't even know this in the alpha. Blizzard never even told us. But basically, you can, like, imagine punching in, charging up your block, then immediately punching back out again, or seismic slam into charge into... Oh, it's mental. This hero is absolutely mental. I think he needs nerfs, but I think the nerfs, need to be to his ultimate, because I'm not sure he should still be doing 300 damage at the center of his ultimate, because that essentially means he can just kill people instantly, which I don't think is what he should be about. This is a hero that goes in and disrupts your team and pushes the enemy team all over the place. And when he gets a charged up fist, he does the AoE punch, so he knocks people, like the whole team he can knock back, sort of like 10-pin bowling. He's cracked. And as players get better and better and better and better with this hero, he is so strong. And of course, lack of CC means he has a field day. So if the enemy team's got Ana, well, if she's used Sleep Dart, I guess I'm going into the back line, and I've got 15 seconds, which is a hell of a long time in Overwatch, to do whatever the hell I bloody like, blah, 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 blah. So I think Doom is a spicy little player. Oh, I just wish I could play him good. I did actually, you know what? I got to GM with Doomfist when he first came out, but he was hilariously broken. Yeah, because that was the Steak Bake account. Any of you guys remember that account? It was Doomfist, and I just literally one-trick Doomfist and I got fairly high for me, I think. I was like 4.2k, but I was just literally punch bot. I was just charging up the fist, instantly killing people because it was broken. Had a massive hitbox. Anyway, let's move on. Baptiste, do I say he's playable? You know what? I'm going to say Baptiste is playable. Simply because I think Ana is better than Baptiste. And I don't want to put Baptiste and Ana on the same tier. And I don't think he's a niche pick. So Baptiste has got Lamp, which he can use the moment he takes 1 HP of damage, is generally what I do because I'm so bad. But that's good, obviously. It's always been a good ability. Prevents death. It's get out of jail card and all of that stuff. He can do a bit of damage to push flankers away from him. He's got a self-heal. He's got ranged healing. He's okay, but Ana's better. And let's just go on to Ana while we're talking about it. So Ana is A tier. Playing Ana is like an absolute... It feels like you're in some... Like, I can play Ana for 2 or 3 games, and then I physically need to go over there behind me into my bedroom and go to sleep, because I am literally broken as a man. Because I'm like, I have had to do about 10 different things. I've had to be aware of everything that's going on, and my mind is absolutely blown. But it feels good, but you're putting in a shed load of work to get the result. And if you just played Moira, hey, everything would be kind of a bit chill, and you could play 100 games. But yeah, so Ana's really powerful because nothing stops anti-nade. You can lob your nade into the enemy team almost all the time. Only Orisa, Sigma, that's a long shot if Sigma's going to eat it. But Orisa and D.Va are the ones that would eat it. Or for some reason you throw it into a barrier. Yeah, you can just smash everyone with this. It is so powerful. And I think just almost prioritizing offensive grenades over healing grenades is the way to go. Because everyone dies so fast in Overwatch 2. It's like, forget using the grenade for healing. Just throw it at the enemy team. And then if you kill them faster than they kill you... Think of it like, it's like Zen's Discord Orb in a way. Okay, it doesn't amplify damage, but it prevents healing. And without any healing, well, you tend to die. She is mega powerful. I just wish that they did something with sleep, because I think the cooldown's a bit too long on sleep. But if they start reducing that down, she might be kind of get out of control. Because the Doom and Ana interplay is really strong. So Doom comes in onto Ana. Ana needs to sleep him, or she's going to get destroyed. And if she doesn't sleep him, then Doom's got the advantage. And then, the same applies to all of the interplay between flanking DPS onto Ana and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Like, Ana is, I think, strong. I think she's really strong, but she is literally the most difficult hero to play in the game right now, honestly. You're scared for your life that entire game. Like, you're absolutely bricking it. You're like, oh, no, please don't kill me. You're hoping your other support tries to help you out. You're hoping they're Brig or Lucio to maybe help you out, because the Moira is probably off flanking or doing DPS or, something like that. But yeah, I think Ana's really good. And of course, Nano is strong. Nano's always been strong. One of the things which I think a lot of people don't really respect about Nano is its ability to save someone who's about to die. And that's very strong. In 5v5, If someone is super low and you need to just heal them, nano them instantly, and that's it. You know, it gives them the massive damage resistance. You can pump the healing into them. Yeah, I think she's good, but oh my god, she's difficult to play. Where do I put this? You know, my playtime has been very limited on Zarya. But double bubble means you can charge like an absolute beast. I've just realised, what have I wrote here? That doesn't say counter, does it? There we go. Hope they don't counter you. Can I put her there? Can I put her as a niche pick? Nah, she's got to be playable. She's definitely playable. I don't think she's niche. I don't think any of the tanks are niche. Nah, she's playable. Come on. So she is massive damage. Obviously, you've got a charger, but she's massive damage when that happens. She's actually really good against Orisa, but I think Orisa brings more to the table. She just does more stuff all of the time. Whereas Zarya, without any charge, she's very limp. She doesn't do anything. Whereas Orisa doesn't have that problem. You know, she's just pumping out damage like she doesn't care, and it's mental. You know, and I think poor Zarya suffers from the fact that there's no other tank with her. Like, that was always the go-to bubble target. I mean, Ryan, Zarya, let's put them together because they belong together. They always belong together. They should always be together. They were a match made in heaven, but now they don't exist. So she's playable. I think she's okay. I don't really have much to say about her because I haven't really played it too much, but I think her grav is still really powerful, but it takes so long to charge it now. It only results in one lost fight, and it's not the end of a match, so yeah, she's okay. Zen, oh no. Oh no. I think Zen is dead. I honestly think Zen is dead. Like, I've had some great games with Zen where I felt like I'm on top of the world, but that's when the enemy are literally ignoring me. If you go, well, good lord, there's a Zen over there. Oh, by Jove, I'm going to go and kill me a Zen. Then Zen is dead again and again and again and again. It is so hard to keep Zen alive. Now, he does have Discord Orb, which is massively powerful against enemy tanks. So if it's Orisa versus Orisa and you're discording their Orisa, oh my god, your team should kill that Orisa dead quick. Like, that is a massive buff to your team. But the cost of that is, you know, I have to be this very fragile thing at the back of the team, hoping nothing comes to get me, because for some reason Blizzard decided to give Zen a massive square hitbox, so you just get absolutely annihilated as Zen. So you can play him sometimes. Okay, I'm being harsh. Let's say he's a niche. Let's say he's niche. He's not dead because he does work. I've just explained why he's not dead. He does work sometimes, but he is. You have to hope that they are not aware of you, or they have players that don't want to deal with you for some reason. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Genji, because I said Genji's S tier. I think Genji is really, really strong right now. So it's simply because his ultimate gets value all of the time because you cannot stop him using it. The only way to stop this Genji is, it's like going back to old Overwatch. It was to kill him. And I remember being in games where it was like, guys, just shoot the Genji. Like, don't let him just get a free blade. In this game, it's back to that. It's like, oh, we need to kill the Genji. We've got to shoot him. Everybody's got to try and kill him. Don't let him just blade us, because he will annihilate us. Now, I've seen Genji players that, no disrespect to these Genji players, but like on live, they might have been gold. But on actual beta, they are annihilating entire teams all of the time because the value they get from the blade. Now, like I said, you can deal with it. You just have to shoot Genji. I think he's really, really strong. I think he can flank. I think he's very good for taking duels. I think he's great when he's harassing supports. I think when he gets nanoed, he's absolutely unstoppable, especially when he's blading. So I just think he's really good, Genji, honestly. Like, if this was my team, I mean, I'd be fine with that. I'd just be like, great. We've got Genji who's probably going to blade the crap out of them. Soldier's going to just kill them all. Orisa's going to kill them all. Moira's going to not ever die. And Lucio's going to kill them all as well. So yeah, I honestly do think Genji's really good. Whether he'll stay here, I don't know. Maybe he ends up getting replaced by the Widow. Not as this is in a team comp as such, but like, you know, on like the S tier. But yeah, at the moment, I think Widow's probably A tier. But I'm loving Genji. I think he's so good. Okay, Bastion. I've really revised my thoughts on this Bastion. And I don't think he's dead. I think he's niche, but he's very close to being dead. So the thing with Bastion is he only has power when he goes into assault mode, and he can only do that every 12 seconds. So every 12 seconds, Bastion does nothing. So, 0 second, Bastion pops assault mode. goes into that for however long the cooldown is. I forget what it is. Is it like 8 seconds or something like that? Whatever it is. He's firing away. He's doing loads of damage. He's super powerful. It's like, oh my God, don't go near him. Blah, 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 blah. Then he pops out of it and he just sort of stands there again. Peep, 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 peep. Doing no damage, waiting for 12 seconds to then do it again with assault mode. His ultimate's like okay, but it's assault mode is what he's based on. Now, there's a few things which go against Bastion. His sheer character hitbox size is massive. He's very easy to shoot. It's always been the case with Bastion, but it's very easy to do damage to. He doesn't have Ironclad as a passive anymore. Now, Ironclad reduces incoming damage by a certain percentage. He doesn't have that anymore. I almost feel like he needs that, especially when he's in assault mode, because he's very easy to kill when he's moving very slow by range DPS. So if you're playing Soldier, and I've played tons of Soldier, you see a Bastion, you love it. You just want to kill that Bastion. It's so easy to kill. It's like I'm just going to drill the Bastion from range and I'm going to get tons of value. So he can work if nobody shoots him and if the enemy don't respect his assault mode. But if they respect assault mode, if they prioritize target damage onto the Bastion, you are going to die. So I think he is a very niche pick and is not that strong. But you know what? Who gives a shit? Because Bastion is a very fun rework, and this is the kind of thing Overwatch needs, and it brings players back to the game, doesn't it? I think he's fun to play, but he's very, very niche, very niche. Oh, Brig. Oh, Brig. People don't understand how strong you are, Brig, but they will soon. Oh, they will. Oh, they will. Okay, Brig is mega, and I don't think people have really caught on to this. So Brig can trigger the passive for supports by bringing up a barrier. So if she takes damage, and let's say loses all of her armor and maybe half of her health, brings up a barrier, right? The barrier is taking damage. Excuse me. I'm dying. Anyway, she brings up a barrier and then absorbs damage onto the barrier. She's not taking damage. Effectively, she's out of combat, even though she's being shot. Maybe this will change, and if it does, she won't be that strong. But anyway, barrier's up. She's not taking damage. The barrier is. She starts healing herself. Well. She's recovering her armor back as well, isn't she? Well. That's extremely frigging strong, especially in a 1v1. So think of Brig playing in the back line. Don't play Brig on the front line. In fact, you are banned from playing Brig on the front line now. Sit next to your Ana. Sit next to your other support, whoever the hell it is. Sit there, chill. Wait for someone to come in. You've still got ranged heal with your armor packs. Still try and keep your Inspire active with whip shot at range. You know, do what you got to do. But someone comes to flank. Oh no, it's a Genji. Oh no, it's a Tracer. What am I to do? Well, I'll flail them a bit. They'll probably do a bit of damage to me. That's kind of annoying. I've lost a bit of health. I flailed them, so Inspire's triggered, so I'm getting a bit of healing. But then I bring up my barrier, and I'm waving it in the face. Oh, that's right. I'm healing again off the roll passive. So you are so tanky. It's crazy. Like I think Brig is finally moved into that paladin role from World of Warcraft. She is that holy paladin. She's not a frontline killing machine like she used to be, because shield bash, it's got longer range now and just does damage, and it does quite a lot of damage as well. So I think, does it do 50 damage? I think it does 50, but you can use it to like finish people off. So if a flanker comes in, this is how I'd play it in my mind. I'd be flailing at them, trying to hit them. They're trying to shoot me. I bring up my shield. I absorb the damage. I'm healing off Inspire. I'm healing off the roll passive. I'm flailing them again. I've maybe hit them a few more times. I see they're low. Then I slam them and I kill them. That is mega strong. It is so powerful. And survivability is so strong on supports. It's like, it's key. It's absolutely, honestly, guys, it's absolutely key. So I think she's S tier. And I don't think people realize that at the moment. But maybe you could say, well, the thing is, Sty, I want Moira and Lucio. I don't want Lucio and Brig. Well, yeah, that would not be good. You know, you do need somebody with high healing output. But you could have Brig Moira. But is that better than Moira Lucio? Is that better than Ana Lucio? I don't know. But I do think she, as herself, can work with any other support and work really strong, with the exception of Zen and maybe Lucio. Yeah, I think she's a sleeper. I honestly think she's a massive sleeper pick. Cassidy, who I almost called a different name just through, you know, literally 7 years of muscle memory. I think he's playable. So, right, on a very basic level, he just suffers from the fact Soldier is way better than him, and Sojourn's better than him, I would say, as well, because you've got that ranged threat. Magnetic Grenade is fun to use, and it does push away flankers. It's not as great, I'd say, for securing kills on flankers, but I think it's okay. But again, it's kind of boring, right? Cassidy is. He's just got his Peacekeeper still. It had a slight nerf to his fan the hammer, but it still fires faster than it did in Overwatch 1. And now he's got a grenade that locks on. He's okay, but there are just better hit scan heroes to play than him. D.Va. Oh my days. D.Va. I don't think I can say D.Va's S tier anymore. No, I think D.Va's playable. Well, not playable. I think she's A tier. I think D.Va's, again, one of these heroes that exists in between the S tier and the A tier. She's really strong because she can counter a lot of things, right? And countering is super strong. She's very good at diving and killing targets. Like with D.Va, you don't fight the enemy tank. That's the big change with D.Va. It's like with Doomfist as well. You don't fight the enemy tank. With Bull, you don't fight the enemy tank. You're a dive tank, right? So what you want to do is isolate targets that are weak and get onto them and try and outplay them with defense matrix, eat their fire, eat their damage, eat sleep dart if you're jumping onto Anna, eat a grenade or whatever, then kill her with missiles and primary fire while booping her around. You fly time. I think you move quicker now. And your times, is it the cooldowns maybe decreased? I can't quite remember. But she's very, very strong. She does counter Soldier if she's in position to do it. But like I said, it is easy for Soldier to play around her. But I think she's A tier. She's definitely better than playable. Definitely. She's not of the same level as Winston, Ball, Ryan, and Zarya. Like, no way. She's a better pick than them, like, all of the time. And the last one is Echo that we've got here. Now, Echo, I'm just going to say Echo is playable. And that's straight up just because Echo is better than Pharah, and I don't think I can put her in the Pharah list. But she still is vulnerable to taking high damage from, the soldiers of this world, which are just incredibly powerful right now. But again, maybe it's a map issue. Maybe it's just because we're playing limited maps in the beta, so we don't get to see a true power level. Okay, let's sit back and have a look at this. Let's see what we think about this, because I think this is pretty much where I'd go now. Would I change any of these heroes at the moment? There's an argument for changing Genji and dropping Genji out of that and literally saying this is the A tier. But I still think because Blade is so much value at the moment that I still think he's S tier. And also, like with Zen being down here, you don't see much Zen, so that was always seen as like the counter to Genji Blade. Maybe not so much now because he's not there. Maybe, like you could even maybe put him there as a niche pick and go, it depends on what the enemy team are playing, but I don't know. I just think you get tons of value with Genji, and he can still kind of not rapidly, that's not right, but he can still charge up his ultimate fairly quickly, and in between his ult usage, he can just harass the crap out of the back line, which is very, very strong in this game. Because if your supports are trying to deal with a flanker on them, they're not healing the tanks, they're not healing the other DPS, and that's a massive advantage. I think everyone else there, like maybe May's the hot take, but I'm going to leave May there because I think she is. I think she's a bit of a sleeper pick, May. Okay, that's my beta tier list at the moment, guys. This may change when buffs and nerfs and inevitably come out, but I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What have been your thoughts so far? Because what is interesting now is a lot of you guys probably do have access to the beta now. I don't know how many people got access from the drops and stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed my stream if you did catch it with my awesome VTuber rig. It's so cool. But yeah, I think this is kind of where we're at the moment with the game. In terms of like overall thoughts with the game, I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video because I'd be here for literally hours. I just think support is suffering in a lot of ways, and I did make a video and go into detail on that yesterday. But I think also in other ways, it's just we've played a lot of these heroes before, so when they totally rework a hero, it feels new, it feels fresh, it feels fun. So people do want to play that hero more, and unfortunately, those are the DPS and definitely the tank heroes at the moment, not supports. Maybe supports will get reworked. Who knows? All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. It has been my pleasure, as always, to bring this to you guys. Remember, if you like the video, it helps me an absolute ton. If you leave a comment below as well, that also helps. And yeah, follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next video. Toodaloo.